Queens, North Carolina batters the all-time Division II record for Tusculum. And then the Knox Catholic product proceeded. Hold on, I'm check on that right there. Forgive me. In your high school, listen to me here right there. But anyway, after striking out 22 Queens, North Carolina hitters on March 15th, in the baseball draft, Charles Hall from Tusculum was selected in the 33rd round by the Oakland A's, and he joins me now. And I guess, wait a second here, I think I'm confusing you with the other D2 pitcher from Lincoln Memorial, who was from Knox Catholic. Where did you go to high school there, Charles Hall?
Yes, I'm from about 30 miles south of D.C., so I went to Forest Park High School in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Okay. As soon as that went out of my mouth, I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not Charles. That's the guy from Lincoln Memorial and all that." But no, nevertheless, here you are, drafted 33rd round by the Oakland A's out of Tusculum. I mean, let's face it, it's tough to get that notice in D2 baseball. It's probably also tough to get that notice in East Tennessee. After all, we're not Florida, we're not California. And so, what was the time? Was it a surprise to you that you were drafted, or when were you kind of known that the A's were looking at you as a potential pitching prospect?
Well, I had a couple talk to me. I went to a couple pre-draft workouts I went to the Red Sox one and a Rangers one. So I kind of had some interest in me. I had an advisor. He really helped me through the process. He was pushing. Like you said, it's difficult to get the recognition that other big schools get and stuff like that. And also, I felt like a big factor against me was my age. I'm 24. A lot of kids, getting drafted are 18 to 22. So I was actually the oldest kid drafted this year. So.
That is old. I don't mean to put you in the graybeard league, but working in showcase baseball and such, I know that 24 might be about as old as you possibly can get to sign a first-time contract with an affiliated minor league team, and it doesn't happen that much after, say, 22 years of age. So now you were playing, I guess, in the summer ball for the Peninsula Pilots, and I find that intriguing because I once interned underneath a broadcaster who broadcast Peninsula Pilots baseball games. Actually, they were a minor league team at the time, but not a summer ball team. But anyway, Charles Hall of Tusculum, have the A's said where they're thinking of sending you already when you've been contacting them?
The scout that I talked to, he said that I could possibly stay in Arizona, but most likely I'll probably be sent out to Vermont.
And that's the New York Penn League.
Yeah.
Yes, now see, that makes a lot of sense right there. That's the level ahead of the Appalachian, for that matter, the Pioneer League. It's where A-ball starts. And at 24, that sounds like theoretically a place that, you might want to, they want you to start going, hey, we're not wasting any time here. Let's get you an A-ball right there. It's short season. Let's see what happens there for you here. Charles Hall, what was the difference after your 22 strikeout game? I'm guessing that's probably where the attention for you started. Is that the case?
I would say actually it was the last season in summer ball,
Okay.
Before I started my senior year, I had a really good summer ball league, led the league in strikeouts in the CPL. So started really, gaining ground and confidence in myself, knowing that I could actually be that pitcher that I could be. But the 22 strikeouts, it was just, one of those games where I just felt good. Just trusted my stuff, just let my ball move. I'm a really dominant off-speed pitcher. I throw a lot of sliders, a lot of curveballs. So just keeping the hitters off balance was a big key, and I believe, I just still can't believe I did it, honestly.
Well, Charlie Hall, are they talking to you at all about beefing up a little? 6 foot, 165. A lot of people say that's a little thin. What have they been talking to you about? Any weight training or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I've
Well, you like bagels, so you put the peanut butter on that, and that's the thing. But I'm looking at your bio here. Favorite athlete, Bryce Harper. Okay, but why not a pitcher? You're a pitcher. What's going on there?
I mean, Bryce Harper. I mean, yeah, he's just just the kind of guy with his swagger and stuff like that. But definitely my favorite pitcher is Max Scherzer.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm a big Washington Nationals fan. I mean, I'm kind of hurt by Bryce Harper leaving, but
Yeah, you're from Manassas. Forgive my earlier line. I got confused with some of it. Yeah, Manassas. So that's near D.C. and such. And you say you're a Max Scherzer fan. What did you think about him telling David Martinez to get right back into that dugout, sir? I will strike out Joey Votto on my own. I don't care what the pitch count is. What did you think about that this week?
absolutely. I mean, you have to have confidence in yourself. Like you're better than the person you're facing at that moment. That's the biggest key is just living in that moment, living pitch by pitch, and just making that pitch to believe that you can strike anybody out.
Well, I don't know if that might be what I would suggest for you in your rookie season to do to Bob Melvin if you do make the A's, but in time, that sort of thing. We're talking to Charlie Hall, Tusculum Pioneers pitcher, 22 strikeout game, a D2 record earlier this season, and now drafted 33rd round by the A's. Let me ask you this. How close are you to signing with the A's?
I actually am heading out to Arizona tomorrow, so I'm flying out there. I gotta just pass, my physical examination, and I'll be signed and ready to go.
Have you hired an agent?
Yes, I do have an agent. His name is Michael Giorgio. He's out of upstate New York. Really great guy. He actually contacted me first. He saw my stats here. Saw my potential. And honestly, without his help, I don't know if I would have gotten drafted because I feel like he really got that extra push and the extra leverage that I needed to get a team to sign me.
Now that's intriguing right there, that the agent, after your commitment is up, but, you are a 33rd round pick, so let's face it, I don't think you're going to be getting a multi-million-dollar bonus. What are you kind of looking at? I mean, what kind of negotiation do you think you can have as a 33rd round pick and a 24-year-old at that?
Well, actually, I mean, I was told my signing bonus. I'm signing for $1,000. I mean, I knew what I was getting into as, being a senior, being 24. I had a bunch of, those factors against me, but, the opportunity is when I, given the opportunity, getting my foot in the door, I couldn't have asked for anything else. Like this is what I've always wanted to do. I love the game of baseball. I just wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, now, Charles Hall, let me ask, you mentioned that breaking pitches were your out pitch, but what is your velocity?
I usually hit 90, 92.
Okay.
Range. Topped out at 94 this year. But my slider is my go-to. It sits from 84 to 87. Got very high spin rate. Another thing that really helped me with scouts and stuff this year is Tusculum just actually acquired TrackMan this year. So we were able to have, the stats about my spin rate, my velocity, and all the stuff where MLB teams can look that up. And, that they trust the computer. That's a big thing nowadays. All the analytics
Sure.
and stuff like that in baseball. So.
But what was the difference between this year and last? I'm looking at your stats right here. Let me just say, the ERA went down by more than 2 runs. You went from striking out basically a hitter an inning to striking out 15 hitters every 9 innings. 148 to 33 strikeout to walk ratio. Your walks actually went down from last year. Hits to innings pitched ratio, it's also there. Your whip is barely over 1 there at Tusculum. I know it's D2 ball, but it's significantly better stats. What was the turnaround this year? How did you improve?
I feel like I became a pitcher instead of just a thrower.
I love that.
My coach Todd Ireland at Tusculum, he's a great mentor. Me and him talk about the game all the time about it's better to locate the pitch than overthrow the pitch or like leave it hanging. So try to oversell it or try to be too perfect with it. And I was, I was my walks were a lot higher last year. And next year, me and him got on the same page. I was like, because over summer balls, they would pull my own pitches, and I was like, hey, look, I threw a lot of off speed this year. It really worked for me. I want to continue to do that. And talking to him, he got on the same page as me, and he called my pitches this year.
Okay.
And he really did a fantastic job with me and my mechanics and everything.
So there you go. Doug Jones for so long, the coach there, but the new one, Todd Ireland, having the turnaround, and now all of a sudden we have Charlie Hull, or Charles Hull, if you prefer, because I guess, you throw the Uncle Charlie, but you really want to get it to where it's Lord Charles, don't you?
Maybe King Charles.
Ah, I see. Okay. Charles Hull, though, from Manassas, by way of Tusculum, and now potentially a Vermont Lake Monster. That's what the New York Penn League team with the Oakland A's is called. Well, I got to tell you, as I look through, there are some strikes against you in making a major leagues. D2, the size, let's face it, 33rd round, all of that. Those are the things that'll say you can't do it. But I'm going to tell you this. If you are throwing breaking pitches, and if you can get up to 94 and such, maybe the money, the investment quite isn't there that you'll have. But I'm telling you, that at your size is probably how you're going to be able to make the major leagues if you've got the big breaking stuff and such. So it's going to be intriguing to look at. And starting out New York Penn League as a 24-year-old is probably the way to go. Of course, if they start you out in the Arizona League just to get the kinks out, or, hey, let's see what the D2 guy can do to start out with, you probably won't be there for long. Charles Hull, drafted out of Tusculum to the Oakland A's.